welcome to Full Out Flying Solo episode. I feel like I am having an issue right now in my neighborhood with coyotes, and it is like one thing where I'm like, I've gone super full out on wildlife and animals because, okay, I love nature. I feel like I need to be in nature. I was born in Alaska. I grew up like camping and climbing mountains. I feel like I look like such an indoor cat, but I'm like an outdoor cat. I'm like, I need to be outside. I had a period of my life where I was like, I just need friends who like to climb mountains and talk about Botox. Where are those people? So I'm like a mix between like the two things a bit, but I really like being outside and being in nature. And so I like to live in places where nature is around, and I'm terrified of animals, like beyond terrified of animals. Like it's a real problem. I was scared of dogs my whole life. Unpopular opinion. Please don't turn the podcast off. I've changed. But I was like scared of dogs growing up. I don't even really know why. Maybe because I was like very petite or something, and I felt like they could overpower me, and I did not like when they jumped on me or like touch their nose to me, or I'd like freak out, like kind of like, like, you know, people would have to put their dogs away and stuff. And then I was in my, like, I don't know, I was in my like 20s, and I'd just been broken up with a guy that I've talked about on here like multiple times. And my friend invited me to go volunteer at her summer camp in Maine. And I was like, okay, yeah, sure. Like I'll do that. And I like didn't know what I showed up and I went on a run in the woods, and like it was in the woods in the summer camp in Maine. And I saw this giant poodle, and it ran up and like bit my ass, broke the skin. I was like screaming bloody murder. I thought it was going to kill me. And I was wearing Lululemon workout pants, and weirdly it didn't break through my workout pants, but it broke the skin on my ass. And I did write them a letter and being like, thanks, your pants literally saved my ass. And they didn't send me any pants in the mail. Anyways, I'm like, it's like a thing. Everyone knows I'm scared of dogs. And then I got a dog because my husband really wanted a dog. And I was like, okay, if I get a dog, it needs to be like the cutest dog I've ever seen in the world. And I'm sorry, we did not adopt our dog, but we bought our dog. But now I feel like I could adopt a dog because my dog has made me be like, oh, I get this. And like, it's like really lessened my fear of animals. Like I like dogs now. I think I like needed it. He was like my gateway drug to dogs. And it really helped because I was so scared. Like I would be like walking on a sidewalk and a dog would walk past, and I would have to like run off the sidewalk to get around. Like that's how scared I was of dogs forever. And now I like dogs and I like get it and everything. So, but I do live in a neighborhood where there's like coyotes and like a lot of wildlife. And I like to run outside. So for some reason, I've had so many encounters with animals, and it's terrifying to me. Like I've been on a jog, and I was talking to my mom on the phone while I was running, and a squirrel fell out of a tree and like landed on my head and bounced off of me. Like that kind of weird animal encounters. Like I always feel like I'm the reverse Snow White, like the one who like doesn't want them coming to me, but they all just like flock to me all the time. And I have a lot of coyotes like in our neighborhood, and I heard this dad years ago, because the coyotes have gotten so brazen, like not afraid of anything. Sometimes words come out of my mouth and I'm like, I think that's right, but I don't know. That could be wrong. But they're not scared of anything. But I feel like 8 years ago, they were a little more skittish. And I heard this dad telling his daughter at a park, like, if you ever see one, just clap really loud, you know, and they'll go away. And I was on a run one morning, and I was holding my mace in one hand, because I run with mace, and my phone in my other hand. And I saw one, and I went to clap really loud because I was like, I'm not going to let this coyote scare me. I'm not going to let it beat me. I feel like they can feel fear. And I went to clap, and I like went like this, and I realized I had shit in my hand. So I was like, clap. And like I just screamed clap like so loud. And I'm sure if anyone has that on the Ring doorbell, I look psychotic. But I was running one morning. This was during the pandemic. I feel like my daughter was maybe 1, and I ran I was running down the sidewalk, and in LA, there was this mountain lion named P22 that everybody knew about. If you look up P22, you can see signs of him like laying by the Hollywood sign. And he was this mountain lion that nobody knew how he got to the hills of Hollywood because he had to cross 4 freeways to get there. And people were like shocked that he was able to do that. And mountain lions are solitary, so they like have their own mountain range. So there's just like one of them, but he was like alone in the hills of Hollywood. And, you know, there's like a lot of lore and like people love P22. So I'm terrified of animals. So I was like, I never want to see P22 in my entire life. And so I was running down the sidewalk and P22 like shot out of a driveway, and I was here and P22 was here, and like we missed each other by like feet, like 10, not even 10, I don't know. It was so close. And when I saw him, I was like, what is that? It took my brain like a second to comprehend what I was seeing. And he ran across the street, and like his muscles, I was like, first I was like, is it a dog? And then I was like, is it a coyote? And then I was just remember seeing like the muscles in his legs were just huge. And we like missed each other like this, and he ran up the street up a hill, and I was freaking out. And I like ran home. I told Marco, who was asleep because I run early, and I was like, I just saw a mountain lion. I'm getting my car and I'm driving down to like the main street. I'm going to park down there. And then like the jolt, you know, when you get in a car accident or something scary happens, like I was shaking for like a while. And then I went and finished this run. And then every day for probably 4 years after that, I thought about P22 in the morning, because I also read if you see a mountain lion, they've seen you way before you saw them, and like they know you're there if you see one. And this thing about seeing animals, every time you look it up, it's like, it's good luck. It means this and that. And I'm like, I don't want it. I'm like, where's my blessing coming around the corner? It's like, you're on the right track. I'm like, this is not the track I want to be on. I have a hawk at my house that keeps swooping at me too. And I swear in my mind, I've made it to be like the size of a pterodactyl. Like when I imagine what happened, I'm like, its wings shot out and it was huge. And my husband has zero fear of animals. Like he's on the opposite end of the spectrum, like in a way where he should have a little more fear of animals, but he's like broken up dog fights before. He's the kind of person that will like go and like help and do all that kind of stuff. And he's not scared. And I'm so scared. So he thinks I'm just crazy all the time. But so P22, every morning I would be like, okay, I need to like be on the lookout for P22. And I started tracking him on Nextdoor because people would post videos of him on the Ring doorbell. And I weirdly got in this thing, and like I didn't really tell anybody about it because it was like on my runs in the morning, whatever, where I kind of knew what neighborhood he was in. Like I just like had, because I would be like, the coyotes are not out right now, so P22 must be in my neighborhood. And then I would look on Nextdoor and I would be right. And then when I would see coyotes, I would be like, he must be like he would go from like, there's like a few hill neighborhoods that he would hop to, and I would be right. So I felt like he was like watching me in the mornings, and I was terrified, but like I weirdly made this like relationship with this animal that was like a big part of my day every day. And then he started going a little crazy. Like he ate a dog that was on leash, like attacked a dog on leash and stuff. And people were like, okay, something's up with P22. Like, and they were like, we need to capture him. I think they're all tagged somehow. There's like somebody who's P22's like monitors P22 all the time. And I feel like that wasn't me. I should have had that job because I pretty much did that job. But he was in somebody's backyard. They found him in a backyard, like very close to my house. And they found out that they were like, we're going to take him to a sanctuary. We think he's getting old or something. And that's why he's starting to like attack, you know, because he'd never attacked anybody before. And I was like so dumb that I was like, I bet if I go to that sanctuary and wear my hair in a ponytail the way I do when I run, he's going to recognize me. I just like had these like insane thoughts. I didn't like say them out loud until now, but I did think that he was going to recognize me. And then they were like, actually, he had gotten hit by a car and he had like internal injuries. And that's why he was acting crazy, because he was like bleeding internally or something. And they had to put him down. And when I read that, this animal that I've been like terrified of for 4 years, I just like spontaneously burst into tears and was like sobbing. And I was like, wait, what? I had no idea that I had this like, I don't know. It's like he was like my friend that I was with every morning. I'm sure he'd seen me multiple times. And I had no idea that I had like such a connection to him, even though I was so afraid of him. And then Marco got me like a framed picture of P22 that's in my office. But they had all these vigils in LA for him. And like they did something at the Greek theater. It's like a big outdoor theater. And like everybody went and everybody's like, P22, we'll miss you. And I kept being like, you don't even know P22. I was like, P22 was like my mountain lion. P22 is not LA's mountain lion. I'm like, we knew each other. Like we actually knew each other. So I feel like that's pretty full out of me to go crazy like that. Yeah. And now we have a bobcat that keeps coming in our yard. And I'm terrified of it. And I like have pictures of it like over by my kids' clubhouse and all this stuff. And it like will leave for a few months and then it will come back. And Marco's like, it's so cute. I'm like, it is cute. But like we have little kids and a little dog and me, I'm little. I'm like, he's like, coyotes just want small yappy dogs. And I'm like, yeah, it's confusing for them. They think I'm one of them. So I feel like if you hear of a woman getting taken by a coyote, it will be me. I'll be like the first one to be taken by a coyote. But yeah, I'm just like so scared of these animals, and I track them on my cameras all the time. And I have like a weird relationship with all the animals around because I know where all of them are. Like there's like 3 coyotes that live in the neighborhood and I know them, but I don't want them here, but I like weirdly feel super connected to them. I don't know. If you have any ideas of what I should do, let me know because I'm freaking myself out.
I feel like I came from like a crazy animal family. So, but as much as like I love animals, I feel like a lot of times they don't like me. And that like,
that's so funny.
Which is like my dogs like me, but then like when my dad comes to pick them up for the week, like they get so excited to see him.
That's
and I feel
exactly
so
how
rejected.
I feel about my children. Exactly. The more I love them, the less they love me and love their dad.
No, exactly.
It's hard to play it cool.
It is. No, it makes me like, I was like almost gonna cry when my pit bull like got so excited to see my dad, and she was like yelling she was like barking like out of excitement, and I was like about to go cry because I was like, this is so hurtful right now.
Yeah.
I love you so much and you don't love me back enough.
My dog, Trask, is obsessed with Marco too, like obsessed. And Marco always tries to tell me like, no, he tries to find you when you're gone too. And I'm like, no, he doesn't.
I also like, just think dogs are like a little like misogynistic though. And I feel like they always like the man.
Like when we're in the airport, if we bring the dog or whatever, Marco's obsessed with the dog, and we're definitely always bringing the dog because of Marco, but the dog is listed as like my support animal because I look like somebody who needs a support animal and act like somebody who needs a support animal, but really Marco needs the dog.
That's so funny.
So he's under me, and I'm like, do you know what you're doing to me, Marco? Like, I am a petite blonde named Brittany, and now I'm walking through the airport with a Maltipoo that is registered under me. Like, nobody is giving me any respect. Any respect that I was gonna get is just like down. Like,
yeah.
So, but the dog will like, I'll have the dog on the leash, and he's just like chasing Marco, like
Yeah.
chasing to get up to him. And Penelope, I have like videos of me just being at the airport while Trask and Penelope just like run after Marco, who's trying to drop a bag somewhere.
I think outside of Chihuahuas are really loyal to women, I feel like, but outside of Chihuahuas.
Oh, I don't want a Chihuahua.
I know, but besides Chihuahuas, like every other type of dog though, like just loves men. Like my pit bull is a little like, she's a little creepy towards men. Like if men are around, like she has to like lick them the entire time, like in a creepy way.
Whoa.
And I'm like, it's really disturbing and bizarre. And I have to warn my guy friends before they come over. I'm like, you might be assaulted by my dog. Like just a heads
my
up.
gosh.
It's a problem. It's a problem.
Oh my gosh. That's crazy.
So we got some 3 full out stories.
Great.
Keep writing in.
Yeah.
So the first one's from Lynn. I got full out denied this week. I was traveling to Italy for a wedding and my passport got denied, not at the US border, but the Italian one. So after a 10-hour flight, I got put immediately on another one back home. Then after 3 days of emergency passport dealings, I finally made it back to Italy and somehow miraculously made it to the wedding.
Whoa. Wait, the
Wow.
US passport got denied?
Yeah,
Did she
it
say?
sounds like, a passport got denied at the Italian border, not the US one. So they made it to Italy.
Crazy.
Yeah.
I got one time, passport stuff is so complicated. So Marco has a Swiss passport and now Penelope has a Swiss passport and he like was signing Benjamin up to get his Swiss passport and I was like, are you trying to steal the kids away from me? Is that your plan? And I was like, no,
plan.
like he can't I technically have been married long enough where I could get a Swiss passport, but I have to take the test and it's in French, which I feel like I'd be fine taking the French part. But you also have to know Swiss history. And I was like, I will never be able to pass that test. And I think it's Swiss. So it's like more, Switzerland is going to have like a harder, I feel like they're going to have a more rigorous test than we have for questions, here.
Yeah.
But one time I was traveling with all Marco's friends in Europe to a wedding in Turkey. And we had flown from Geneva because everybody like lives in Switzerland to this wedding in Turkey. And we were running late. We had a connecting flight and we were about to miss the flight. And then they were like, to me, the only one who didn't have a European passport, they're like, you need a visa to get on you need like a Turkish visa to get on this other plane. So I had to like go quickly apply for the thing. And like, I was like, everybody's going to get to go to this wedding except for me because I'm American. And I was like, this is how the rest of the world feels all the time. Like they have to apply it's like it's crazy. Like it was one time where I was like, oh, I need an extra thing and nobody else does. But I was like, wow, it's intense. Yeah.
No, I don't think I've ever had to apply for a visa.
Oh, my dog also has a Swiss passport. Just if
Wow,
anybody's
so
wondering.
your husband's gonna steal the kids and the dog.
He has some like
and bring them to
vaccine
Switzerland.
record that's in like a Swiss.
Yeah.
They gave us like this Swiss passport looking thing for a dog with all of his like to be able to be brought into the country.
Whoa.
And I was like, are you kidding me? Everyone in this family has Swiss citizenship.
That is so. That's
fine.
so intricate.
It's fine. I feel okay.
No, I didn't know about the validity requirements for passports, that it needs to be like 6 months valid before you travel. And I had a trip, like this was like 4 years ago. I had a trip booked to Copenhagen to see this guy that I was like in love with. And my passport wasn't valid. And so I made my roommate, Josh Sadowski, who was on the podcast earlier, I made him turn and burn to Tucson, Arizona with me to get an emergency passport.
Oh my gosh.
We did it in 21 hours. And then I somehow made my Copenhagen flight. And Josh was like, no help. He didn't drive more than 1 hour on the entire trip to Tucson. Every time he got behind the wheel, he was like, my blood sugar's low because he's a diabetic. Or he was like, I feel faint. Or I can't see anymore, Molly. Or da-da-da-da. I can't have reason every time. Anyway. Crazy.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
But I made it. I made it to Copenhagen.
Good for you.
Thank you. Okay, next one. Hi. My dog went full out this week. Does that count? She likes to take breaks on walks to just people and dog watch, which I'm usually okay with. But today I was in a rush and she decided to take the break of all breaks. She laid down for 20 minutes and nothing I would do would get her to walk. She's a big girl, so I can't pick her up. So I had to try all the other methods. Everyone passing us thought she was being so cute, but let me tell you, I was full out upset. Anyway, love the podcast. Thank you for letting me write in.
Oh, For letting you write in. Wow, that's so nice. You're
so
always
sweet.
allowed to write in. I love that you said that. Sounds like it came from a people pleaser.
Yes. Like letting her dog lay down for 20 minutes.
Yeah, I'm like, just get, yeah, totally. You let your dog lay down. I one time it is hard when you need to go and your dog is like, doesn't want to go. But one time we took Trask, our dog, to Paris because
Trask has been everywhere.
Trask, we'll go to Europe to stay with Marco's family for like a month. So we bring him. But like we got to Paris first because we were like, we'll go here for 2 days. Our dog is like a 10-pound little dog who can like hold his pee for a full day. Like he's so easy on the plane. We don't give him anything. He just doesn't pee. But we got to Paris and this dog would not pee anywhere in Paris. He was like, nope, not for me. And we were like, you haven't peed in like a long time. And Marco was getting really mad at Trask at one point because we kept trying to find like a perfect spot of grass for Trask. And he was downstairs of the hotel and he was like, kind of like being like, just go, like, you know. And this woman like full blown lost her mind on Marco and told her like how he should never talk to his dog like that. And like all this stuff. And how he was being so mean to the dog. And he's like, lady, like my dog hasn't peed in like a day and a half now. And like, yeah. So
Was she American?
no, she was obviously French, you know.
But I also feel like that's
But it is more of an American thing to do.
do.
She did tell, but she was French.
Yeah. Okay.
But he was
one.
talking to Trask in French probably.
Oh, so then
Marco's very like he's very like what is it called? Like he can like what iguanas do, like adapts to like the
chameleons.
accent. A chameleon.
Yeah.
He like
iguanas.
wait, doesn't an iguana change colors?
No, that's a chameleon.
Isn't a chameleon an iguana? Aren't they the same thing?
Different thing.
Okay. I feel like a lot of people out there didn't know that either. But Marco's like such an
Find out in the comments.
I said I'm the animal lover.
One of my friends was like, I'm glad that you're using, most comics like use their platform to like their podcast to like promote their comedy and stuff. And Brittany's using hers as a cry to show how much mental help she needs or something like that. I can't remember exactly what he wrote, but I was like, it was a joke. But I mean, was it a joke? Every joke has a little bit of truth. Okay, let's move on from iguanas.
Okay, next one, Amelia. This is a full-out throwback for you. I was a really weird kid. Little House on the Prairie was my obsession. So for an entire summer, kind of the whole year, I wore exclusively prairie dresses and only drank milk out of a tin mug, just like Laura did on the prairie.
Oh my gosh, I love that. Okay, this is like, I don't know if I should say this, but I feel like my friends are out of this phase, but there was a phase where like women in LA in their 30s started wearing these prairie dresses. And like, I feel like I can't say this because I know the owner of the prairie dress company and she comes to like parties that I go to.
Okay.
Anyways. Okay. I feel like, I'll just say like, I feel like prairie dresses got very popular for my age group a few years ago in Los Angeles. And my other friend and I were like, wait, I don't want to wear well, one, the prairie dresses did not fit me. I was too little for an adult-sized prairie dress. And I was like, these don't fit me. Nope. If not, maybe I would have just gone with the trend. But I was like, I don't really want to wear a prairie dress. I feel like I'm...
Yeah, when was this? How...
Like maybe 4 or 5 years ago.
Okay.
I feel like everybody
have
was
a vague
into
memory
a prairie
of this.
dress kind of a vibe.
This was like right after COVID, maybe when like all like the trad wife stuff was starting to become popular.
Yeah.
Okay. And like the bread making.
Yeah.
So you didn't buy a prairie dress and make bread and
No,
do
I
the whole
didn't.
thing.
Marco
Okay.
did.
Marco did.
Marco,
Yeah.
Marco made, no, he didn't buy a prairie dress, but he made bread. He got really into making bread at COVID.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm not really into that. I'm not into that kind of stuff. I think Penelope wishes that I was like, my daughter wishes that I was a trad wife. Like she's like, why don't you wear dresses, Mom? Why don't you wear dresses? And I'm like, she always like picks out clothes for me in my closet and it's a dress or something. Weirdly, after I had kids, like I just don't ever want to wear a dress. I feel super weird in a dress now.
Don't like dresses or skirts either. That's just not my thing. I used to
love wearing a dress or a skirt, and now I feel like, I know I'm on stage a lot, and like I feel like I don't want to have to be like, oh, I need to change into like clothes I can do stand up in. So I'm not going to like put on a dress in the day. Yeah. But even when I'm wearing one, I'm like, I feel a little dumb. I don't know why.
I think I've talked to you about I think I've talked to you about this before, but like there's like I think also this like recent trend of like everything has to be so girly, like girly pops and like all this stuff. And I think like it just like irks me. And so I think I stopped wearing dresses around when like people just like were really hyper fixated on like being girly.
Yeah.
I know. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but for some reason I just like rejected that whole trend.
Yeah, I know. I used to be super like girly pink, all the stuff growing up. And then I was like
super.
I think I looked young, really young. And I feel like doing the girly stuff just made me look even younger.
Maybe that's what it is. That's why I reject
it. And I just don't feel like I'm that. I don't know. But anyways, Penelope one time wrote on a thing like a wish in preschool. And she's like, I wish that me and my mom could learn to cook together. I was like, this weirdly feels like a diss because I feel like she's saying I also don't know how to cook, so we could learn how to cook together.
Oh, that's amazing. That's great.
So yeah. Well, you guys, thanks so much for writing in. Keep writing in. Call us or voice memo us. Call us if you can find our phone number. Call us.
You can call people on Instagram, so they can call us on IG.
Oh my gosh, call Molly on IG because I'm definitely not answering those Instagram calls on IG. Everywhere. Thoughts at Full Out Pod. Thanks for listening.